Well, it looks like we're live, John. Greetings, world,
Hi,
and
hi, hi.
greetings, Seven Spot. It's me, Seven Spot Jim, and I've got my New Year's celebration hat. Do I look ridiculous
Love,
enough, John?
love it. I know, I'm loving the hat actually. You look like something like it's like a pork pie hat. You look like something like out of Madness.
Yeah.
You know the band.
As I told you off air, I never considered myself as looking cool. So
You
it
can
is
always
what it
be
is. It's a crazy New Year's Eve hat, and it'll go back into storage soon.
for another year.
Yeah. Well, greetings, world, and greetings, Seven Spot, one more time. This is going to be a 2023 recap for us, but it's also our what is it? Weekend Blat number 3, out with the old show. And I guess what we wanted to say is that, I'm reading my notes here that I hastily drew up moments before we went to air. We've had terrific growth and had terrific opportunities, all the car shows, all the manufacturer interviews, and all the personal live streams. It's been absolutely fabulous. And I got to say, we've had a whole bunch of help. And I just also wanted to say, all the things that we're doing is the growth is because of you. So thank you.
I think it's because we also live stream from all the major shows in the UK. I mean, not just us. There was Trevor Rolfe, but we'll come on to that later.
Yeah. Well, that's all I wanted to say is that I know my sweet spot. I love doing interviews with people on live streams on an individual basis. I love finding out the stories behind the stories. That's what really gets me going. But I want to say a personal thank you to those who picked up the slack for me this year, because this is my apology moment. We've had a bunch of stuff happening in our household that has taken me away from all the stuff that I do at Seven Spot. So I want to apologize to everybody on a personal level for that. But guys like Trevor Rolfe have stepped into it with all their YouTubes, and of course his partner Jason Wollicott did a fabulous job. And I've got a list of people that I want to just read off my thanks to, and I hope you don't mind.
It's brilliant that they're picking the whole live stream idea up.
Oh yeah. Well, everybody's got their sweet spot. I mean, I like doing the live streams, and I know that Trevor likes doing one-on-one interviews, but he likes to do it on a YouTube video kind of basis, and that's fine. Everybody likes doing what they like to do. I know that there are some people who like doing their presentations just by audio, so it all works, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Trevor's still recorded live, which we like, and then edited down. It comes across really well. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to say a personal thank you to Trevor and to Jason, also to Craig Harper of Harper Sports Cars, Troy Umloff of Troy's Shed, not us John Minion, whoever he is, and Trevor Harmer of Northwest Kit Car Owners Group, Jose Windle, Dave LaSalle, Brian James, and so many more. We've had terrific guests on our live streams and had terrific opportunities to interview manufacturers too. It's just been fantastic. I mean, our growth curve this year has gone, way up, not only in terms of live stream, our Facebook presence. We're now 11,900 of us. It's just like way beyond whatever I might have thought might ever have happened. And we've got over 2,200 in our YouTube channel too, which is something I got to say. And again, a big thank you to Trevor and all the rest of the co-presenters that have really helped us along the way on that. I personally have never ever focused on working on the YouTube side of it. It was only after consultation with Trevor that he suggested we focus on that. It's great. It's been fabulous. Thank you, Trevor, and thank you, Jason.
And also things like Paul from Minikits, where we did that mammoth live stream from the NEC class. It was supposed to be 10, 15, 20 minutes. I think it went on for about an hour.
An hour and 9 minutes it went on for, and that's you're jumping you've got my speech written down.
shut up.
No worries. So anyways, why don't we jump into video number 1? Because folks, this is a call-in show. What do I want to say about that? I mean, it's out with the old and in with the new. So if you've got something that's out and old and going out, I want to hear about it. Give us a call. This is just use Messenger and look for Jim Gould. I'm going to put up a banner right now, and you can give us a call anytime during the video, whatever. We will interrupt the show to have a chat with you. If you've got a project that you're working on, you got a build, we want to hear about it. And if you've got some exciting news on it, give us a call and tell us what's on your mind. You got some New Year's resolutions? You want to lose some weight and go fast? Give us a call.
Stop eating the pies.
So let's start in with the first video. Folks, these are all really short videos, so give it some thought and give us a call. And have to make this thing work, don't I? Hit that button.
Now, one car that caught my eye as it came through the entrance was this Lotus 6. Now, obviously, with the continuous supply of cars through Caterham, the 7 is well known, but the 6 not so well. And as you probably guessed, it was the car that Lotus produced before the 7 come along. Now, I've got the owner, Charles, here, who is very kindly agreed to tell us a little bit about this. And it's got quite a story when it comes to you. So this car was originally supplied as a kit in 1954. But when did you buy it?
I bought it in 71.
So that's 52 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. And what sort of condition was it in when you got it?
It was crashed. It was had a front wheel hanging off, and the front radius rod was all bent, and the chassis was bent as well. So quite a lot of work involved.
But apart from that, it was as good as new.
Yes.
So these I know are quite a sought after car nowadays. So back in 1971, how much did you
amazing car, and he campaigned it.
£5 for this one, mostly because of the accident damage. But yes, they were worth 150 or so at the time.
Like what,
I know you have to take inflation into consideration, but they're still amazing.
These are
numbers.
The stories I love to tell.
Over the years, presumably you've enjoyed it quite a lot. Did you get it back on the road sort of fairly quickly?
I did actually, yes, in about 3 years. Because I've got another one, but that took me 30 years to get back on the road. So.
Well, the old saying is you can't rush a good job, so that's not too much of a problem. So have you had a few adventures in it over the years?
Been to Le Mans a couple of times now. And also I used to speed hill climb it at Prescott. So, and put the original Type F engine back in, the side valve Ford engine.
Because originally this car would have been Ford 100E based?
E93A, so the even earlier one. Because the 100E didn't come out till later on.
So that would have been, is that what they used to call the old sort of setup?
What I liked about that car as well is that he's actually using it. It's not a museum piece.
Sort of plans for
Some
it?
people would
absolutely.
In the garage.
That's half the fun of it. Most of the fun of it, actually enjoying it. Because it used to race when it was new. It did the 1172 series, which was sponsored by Colin Chapman of Lotus. So you were competing for the Chapman Cup, and it wasn't the first owner, but it was actually the second owner, a man called John Derrisley, and he was very successful with it. And he went on to be a Lotus Works driver later on.
So this
Sorry about that interruption, folks.
You know, real history, character, and patina.
It has, yes, and it's fun to drive as well.
It just, I just love it because as we spoke off camera very much about how a lot of stuff nowadays gets over restored and it's put back to how it is in the factory, and I just love this car because there is just so much.
Just love how Trevor and Jason are going out and meeting the people at the on site. It's absolutely
done
fabulous.
One of those restorations where you've taken it off the road and got all back and shiny. Now I think this is absolutely fantastic and a real credit to you.
Thank you. Yeah,
brilliant. Thanks for your time, Charles. It's really appreciated.
Well, that's cool. You got to say, that is so cool.
exactly. And as I say, it's not a museum piece. It's still being raced and hill climbed.
Absolutely.
Brilliant stuff. I mean, you look at some of the cars that we've managed. You look at some of the cars that we've managed to uncover. I mean, the other classic one was the original run champion, number 001, which was on the other night. I mean, again, it's another car. He's not just going to do it back up and put it in a museum. It's going to get used, which is great.
Well, it's funny you should mention that. We've got some exciting news. I might as well jump into it. I mean, we're planning to do a webinar for low-cost builders, and I've received some very interesting information from some people close to that particular story, Low Cost 001, and we are hoping to put together a very good show, including some stuff about Low Cost 001 in the live stream, or excuse me, in the webinar. The webinar, by the way, folks, is for low-cost builders. It's free to enroll. There's no charge for enrolling it, but it is an educational thing, so it's not going to be for public consumption. This is a learning exercise. So if you're interested, there will be links in the description, and I will post them below so that you can go to the site and register, and we would look forward to seeing you. And that is going to be on January 14th at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So I will post the link, and you can check the time zone and the time in your area. Now, what have you got going on, or what have you got going up in terms of your channel and your interviews coming up, John?
We've got a lot on at the minute. I mean, I've got a lot of live streams and interviews planned as well, which I won't mention. I won't mention them at the minute, but there are hints out on these 7 spots. We've also got Kit Fest coming up as well, which we're now in. Well, we will be soon in January, and it's actually in April, so we've not got a lot of time left to get things sorted. But all the major stuff is in place, all the infrastructure and so on. So it's going to be another great weekend.
Well, and along that line, I know that you've just put a plug in for Kit Fest, and we'll just say this: if anybody else from Northwest Kit Car Owners Group wants to phone in and tell us all about it, please do. And I don't want to mention any names, but there is a fellow whose initials are Trevor Harmer. He could call in any moment he wants. We'd be glad to chat with him. As for myself, I'm actually, this is one of yours, that your interviews, but I had a chat this morning with a gentleman whose name is Sean Finch. And just to let you know, he's building something exotic, and that he's got a YouTube channel, and everybody should go over there and have a look. Yeah,
he's it's not the first car he's built either, because he's built an Exo Booster.
I know that. It's a fabulous car.
But the one that he's building now, he's turned it at low cost, that he wants to get it over 200 miles an hour. And I don't know. Yes, that's the whole plan behind this new build. I don't know what engine he's going to be putting in it yet. But yes, we will be doing an interview with him shortly in the new year. Look around. I looked at if you look at his YouTube channel, he's even mocked up a little model of where all the chassis rails need to go. So it's almost like a little Airfix kit that he's made himself.
That's right.
Building it all in a single garage. He's got a lot of workshop equipment, and way beyond my level, in terms of welding and things like that. But it's a great YouTube channel, and you can pick a lot of hints and tips up on what he's doing. And he's got. I know he's got the table that he's building on. He's absolutely level. He's leveled all that up, so he knows what the datum points are, and whether it's vertical or off or whatever. Just brilliant to watch. A real technical, old school mechanical engineering and welding. So yeah, great watch.
Well, isn't that great? I'm going to take the opportunity now to say that we've got new show hosts coming. And you know what I'm talking about because we've talked about it. And I want to say big thanks to Craig Hutchison of Skid Marks and also of Mini Kits, along with his I guess I'm going to say codependent Paul Wiles, because Paul is incredibly talented in his own right, but twisting the knobs and dials on the computer ain't his thing. But he's going to be joining us as a show host as well, and they've got some interesting stuff. Again, these are all secrets, so we can't tell. We know, but we can't tell you because if we tell you, you'll just blab, and that'll be the end of it. But I'm going to say that, and also I literally go ahead.
I was going to say, if you have a look at the mini kits, that's where you'll see any announcements coming through, and on Skid Marks as well, the other Facebook page. There are I'm not going to say what. There are some announcements already out there if you look on the pages.
Yeah, and there's some other things that are secret and documentaries that we're working on too. So we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah,
and I'm also going to extend it.
But yeah.
I'm going to extend a huge thank you and I belong to the Lotus Car Club of British Columbia with my SR7, and it's been wonderful of them to embrace me and bring me into their fold because my car is not a Lotus. But I do want to say a huge thank you to Ron Kubara, the president of the Lotus Car Club of British Columbia, and he has literally just sent me a text to say this is a great idea, and yes, I would like to do an interview of 2 with Lotus Car Club of BC members for 7 spot. But the big caveat is I don't want to do any film editing. And I said, no worries. I'll look after that gladly. He is a fabulous presenter. He owns some amazing cars, and he's actually the president of the All British Field Meet, which you hosted a show for a couple of years ago.
Yeah, we did a street fight. Yeah, brilliant show.
Yeah,
and as you did imagine,
and he was.
Cars.
I mean, he knows how to do a good presentation. So we're looking forward to some great stuff with Ron. Thank you, Ron. So let's dive in and see what we have next on our YouTube presentation.
I was going to say we just had a hello guys from Craig Harper, which I've just put up on the screen. So yeah.
Okay. Oh, is that right? Well, maybe Craig Harper should give us a call. I have to go to my comments.
I've just shown it. So there you go.
Okay, great. Perfect. Craig, give us a call. Use Messenger and just call Jim Gould. We'd love to chat. Cheers.
We could just give him a call, but that's probably not.
I like to do things in the right order. We'll see.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So let's move right along. Up next from Oscar's Garage.
Right, we're on the mini kit stand at the NEC.
You mentioned mini kits,
and I've come across this absolutely incredible mini kit. I didn't know what it was, but I've got the only.
It's an award-winning stand as well. They won second, I think it was.
I've been on the side of this Turner Ranger
the previous year, and then they won first as well.
These are toes. Luggage around the airport, that kind of thing. But it's a bit more.
The restoration show.
Yeah, you quite
I
right.
can't remember.
Turner Ranger, built by
it was
Engineering.
On the
it was designed as
one
an
time we
industrial
did Barry Stimson, they put the most number of Stimson mini kits together in one place, and
so it was used around factories and the like as an industrial tractor.
But, brilliant stand.
And in storage areas.
And then there's the Turner Ranger. What an amazing car. These mini kits are amazing things. Everything from tractors to scorchers. Or just unbelievable.
Yeah, you're on the mini kit.
That's right, yeah.
The scorcher is mental.
4-wheel drive through.
Totally mental.
Axles.
Yeah.
And of course, Paul used to own one, and I can understand why he sold it, because as he said himself, he was afraid that he wouldn't survive if he owned it any much longer.
2 drive shafts or prop shafts coming out to try and power.
I think he thought he was going to stuff it through a hedge with him on it.
And then it's got
Yeah.
an A35 steering
Totally
box
mental.
and several linkages to make it 4-wheel steering as well. So it's super maneuverable.
No, it's got number
4-wheel steering. Not only that, you know what I mean? 4-wheel drive and 4-wheel steering.
On the road with it before.
Unbelievable.
It's quite scary going down the road in it. The top speed is only 20 mile an hour, and that's an absolute flat out 20 mile an hour. And you are effectively the crumple zone.
Now you would know more about the mini kits than I do, but
yeah, I'm driving
unbelievable. What is it? I mean, obviously these are a variety of manufacturers.
So
I already said you drive it out. I was right while you were going off down the M6.
No, I'm going to avoid the M6, I think. Yeah,
I understand that.
Yeah.
And just
there's a great story of one of the shows as well, where somebody was bringing a Barry Sportsman Scorcher, and he drove it all the way down the M6 for about 200 miles to get there, and it was sucking it down with rain.
It's called Green Metal. Surprisingly, I met
brave soul, or maybe a crazy soul.
Worked on the production line in the 1970s.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, that really is.
Yeah, he had quite a few looks on the motorway, let's put it that way.
Well, thank you, Gary.
It's all open. It's like sitting on a motorbike with mini engine out the front.
No problem. It's been very interesting. Fun. Loads of people coming up to see me today and talk about this. So
brilliant.
It's been great. I could tell you about it. I've been here.
See, I've never seen one of those. I've never heard about one of those.
Oh, we'll just put a pause on that there. I'm just going to say Craig posted back. He said he's not tonight, but we'll join in the future. He's got company. So thanks very much, Craig. Thanks for tuning in. That is great. And in terms of, what's going on, I know that we're going to be we're going to make a call now to our good friend, Nick, over in his shed, Nick Bradley, and he's finishing up his ARL. So let's give Nick a call, see what happens.
Last I heard, he was waiting for the last bit of the wiring loom up to the ECU. So I hope that was under his Christmas tree this year.
Yeah, and I have no idea, but I do want to find out. Let's see. And
the paint job on it as well, absolutely stunning.
I mean,
it's black.
He did a lot of hand rubbing on that to bring it out.
That's all.
Let's give him a call and see what happens.
Yeah, let's see if he's around. He actually built his shed specially to build it as well, because he didn't have a garage. So yeah, put a big massive shed on the side of his house so he could build his car in it. So great little workshop. Well, I say little, it's not little.
Hello, Nick. How are you? Hang on a sec. I've got to bring you into. Hello, Nick. How are you?
I'm all right, Jim. You?
I'm doing well. Thank you for joining the show. It's amazing. Folks, this is, you can't see us, Nick, because this is a phone call, but I've just managed somehow to hook into phone calls as they're coming in and put them into our shows. So thank you for being with us. But you've got exciting news for us. You've got to be close to the end of the journey there.
Oh, with the ARL.
Yeah.
Nick.
Yeah, the only.
Nick, I know you were waiting.
Wiring.
I know you.
And
you can't hear me.
And a few other bits and pieces.
So
all electrical. So the guy we've had doing the electrical stuff has been hijacked, unfortunately, by Gordon Murray. Oh, yeah, he's doing all the designs for Gordon Murray's hypercar looms.
Wow.
Well, not really. I'd rather he was doing my car.
No kidding.
As he's doing it as a favor, as a friend, I can't really complain.
Yeah.
But you know, It's one of those.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are close, but it's all wiring niggles. Everything else is ready to go. All the paintwork's done. The bodywork, which was interesting because one side of the car, the kit, was 28 mil longer than the other side of the kit.
Oh dear. Can I ask you if someone on at 7 Spot Media who's watching on our 7 Spot Media site asked, did you get the lead for the for the ECU?
Yes, we've got a lead for the ECU. Yeah, we've got a Max Race ECU plugged into an SC77 ESP Fireblade engine. So the nice thing about the Max is you can Bluetooth it to your mobile as well.
Wow.
which is quite pleasant, and it's not expensive. For a standalone ECU, it's remarkable value for money considering it will do 8 injectors.
Wow.
So, well, yeah, you need 8 injectors for obviously the Fireblade engine. So, yeah, as soon as Clive can give me, he probably needs half a day to finish the ECU loom, and we're away. That's it. And then we're just literally into tidying it and booking an IVA test, weighing the damn thing, because that's one worry, because we're trying to build it as well as we can rather than a pure race car. So I think it might weigh more than my target weight, 470 kilos, but not a lot more. We'll see. We will see.
It'll still be a scorcher.
Yeah, it'll still go. It'll still go if I can get with that exhaust that we designed, with the way that scavenges. That I'm hoping that'll pull the damn thing up to around 220, 230 brake.
Wow.
Yeah, that should go.
Yeah, it should. We got another message, probably from the same user, who asked, will Sean Tech of Vector 5 fame be doing the tuning from over the pond?
Will Shane T?
Oh, he wrote down Sean T.
No, Shane, my old mate. No, he's Shane's just tuned a 2-liter Nissan turbo engine by compound turboing it to 2,380 brake.
Could you say that one more time, please?
He's compound turboed a 4-cylinder Nissan engine to 2,300 brake. It broke the dyno.
Wow. That is unbelievable.
This guy is
he's talented.
He's more than talented. Yeah, he's probably got about 40 world records in quarter mile. And if you want to see something really go, he tunes Speed Demon 715.
Okay.
Which is the first piston car they're hoping to do 500 mile an hour out and back at Speed Week. It's been 488, I think, 488, and it caught fire.
I wonder how that happened. How could that possibly have happened?
It had a hydraulic leak in the cockpit.
No.
And honest to God, yeah.
Oh, that's not good news.
I don't know if you should call him a driver, pilot. Just casually shut it all down over 4 miles.
Wow.
It's worth watching the video, honestly. The bloke's got balls
you'll have to send me a link to that. I have to see it. Now, we've had a question, I think, from the same fellow who's watching over in 7 Spot Media. What gearbox is in that car?
Which one?
The one you had just mentioned with the humongous
the 715.
Yeah,
the 715. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's got two turbo derived billet Chevy blocks in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's putting out about 5,500, 6,000 horse and lots of torque. I don't know what gearbox. I've never asked Shane. I'll find out because I'm now curious.
Yeah,
I know. I know on a run it picks up about 500 kilos of additional weight in salt.
Yeah.
which you start thinking, okay, I'll set off at whatever tonnage, and yeah, and then some idiot's got to get under the car and take it all off.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
before the next run. So, but yeah, interesting cars. But
No.
we're not talking about those silly cars. We're talking about lightweight cars.
Lightweight cars, ARL, and the question shouldn't be what gearbox is in that, because clearly it's going to be a Fireblade.
It's a Fireblade.
Yeah.
It's an SC77 engine. So it's a 2019 engine that I got for that, which was somebody's midlife crisis bike. It's done about 880 miles.
Wow.
I think it and the van were not very middle-aged men and high-performance motorcycles. I used to ride one when I was 17.
Well, that's when I stopped.
Yeah,
that's when I stopped.
Yeah, that's about when I stopped as well.
Yeah, I stopped after a rear wheel blowout, and
yeah, it sort of makes you go, yeah, I'm not immortal.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. So the same, our same viewer is asking, what is the paint finish on the ARL? I can tell you it's black.
It's black with yellow, red, purple, gold, and green. Very, very small metal flake in it.
Wow.
And it's got about, I think we finished off with 7 layers of lacquer.
Yeah. I was going to say, how much rubbing have you done?
Lee, I don't. I won't touch bodywork. Lee bless his cotton little socks. He's bloody good at it.
He sings.
He really is good at it, and he loves doing it. He's done filling and rubbing it down. He's cleared over 200 hours on it.
Wow, that's significant. Well, with all those different paint combinations, yeah, that just adds up. Yeah,
it's a lot. But there were quite a lot of voids in the fiberglass. So as far as filling it and trying to get everything to fit, and then it was paint, build it up and paint, and then lacquer. So then Lee flatted it down and flatted it down and flatted it down. Then started polishing it, and then flatted it down again and flatted it down. And it is a little bit mirror-like at the moment.
Yeah, well, that's just great. Yeah. Do you mind if I ask? Do you have any window of opportunity to find out when that light at the end of the tunnel will come to be, or are you just waiting and waiting and waiting for the engine management to finish up?
If I can get Clive to finish off the electrics on the ECU side in the next fortnight, I would hope we've started up the first or second week in Feb.
Oh, that'd be great.
And because we designed the exhaust and we don't know how loud it's going to be. So this could be a problem. But so we designed it so it's 4 into 2 into 1 into a collector box, and then the collector box splits into 2. So it looks like a performance production vehicle from the arse end.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's not too loud. But we went for maximum we could get away with pipe diameter on the headers and the collector, and so we'll see. We'll see.
Well,
I
question
haven't
has
got a
come in
clue.
from someone on 7 Spot says, "Can we be there for the first startup?" Well, you know that we're going to be in touch with you, and yeah,
it wouldn't be. That wouldn't be Mr. Minion, would it?
no, Mr. Minion is sitting there listening intently.
Well, whoever said, can they be there for the first fire up? Of course they can.
Well, I can't really see that from my vantage point on this computer because I don't have access to the 7 Spot site while I'm doing the live stream. But I can tell you,
but yeah, if we'll hook up a live feed.
Yeah.
And
no, either that or what even better. I mean, what you and I could do, and I sent this in a message earlier. We will plot and scheme, because one of the things about your shed is the cellular isn't the best in your particular location, but we can do.
No, but I've now got Wi-Fi in it.
I know, and that's even worse because Wi-Fi has no ability to put anything up to the stream. It can downstream, but it can't send stuff up. But what we can do is something called a live recording, which we can manage moments ahead of a presentation, and it will be presented in 1080p. So we can get it done.
Okay.
Yeah.
This sounds like promising. So what we need to do is get everything so we're ready to fire up.
Yep.
And then you can all do the will it go or will it not?
That's right.
And I give you my word, I won't press the button until we've hooked it up.
Well, see, the way I'm thinking of this is, and as I'm scheming right now, is John can be running a show and carrying on whilst you and I are doing the download, and then up she goes, and then you can comment on it after she goes up.
That sounds absolutely perfect. I'd love to. Absolutely love to.
Yeah. Do you think you can convince Lee to join in too?
Yeah, I can convince Lee to join in.
That'd be awesome.
Yep, and he can tell you how many times he polished that bloody bodywork.
Yeah.
It does look phenomenal. I've got to give it to him. It looks absolutely out of this world.
Well, he did send me. He did send me some secret pictures, and it does. I mean, it looks fabulous. As he's singing, away, rubbing away on the polish on the paint.
Yeah, I mean, it's had a lot of TLC in it, and fair play to the guys that did the paintwork for us. Because we did all the prep, they didn't charge us that much money.
Oh, that's great.
But they did a superb job. So and they're local, and yeah. They didn't even want their name putting on the car.
No kidding.
So, no, honestly, they went, no, just bring us another one, which I thought was great. So yeah, they're really good guys, and they did spray it as we wanted it. So I can't knock it. Yeah. I can't knock it at all.
Sounds absolutely amazing. I can't wait. I literally can't wait. So hurry up, America. Get that job done and send it back to Nick so we can press on with the startup.
We'll get on with it.
All right,
Jim. Yeah, look after yourself. Be good and have a very happy new year.
Okay, and the same to you. And we look forward to seeing you on the other side of 2023.
I look forward to it. Be good.
All right. Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Cheers, Nick. Thank you. Thanks, Nick.
That is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah,
some of the stuff we can.
I can't wait.
You can't really hear. Yeah, and unfortunately, you couldn't hear as well as you could. And we've got some technical gremlins that we have to sort out, but we're on it. We're working on it.
Yeah, I think it's because Nick couldn't hear me, and that's why I was like.
Yeah, and that's you and I have shared a piece of software that's a free download. It's from Rode, and we just have to figure out how it works so we can get both sides of the conversation working on the stream.
it's all going to end up in live stream, isn't it? But that's why a certain person from 7spot, who was nameless, might have been asking a few questions.
And unfortunately, I just can't get to that page from my computer. But anyways, let's talk about a few other things, folks. It's shed time. Here we are in the middle of the winter, and everybody's hanging out in the shed, doing maintenance, doing repairs, or doing a build. So if you've got a build happening or you're planning a build, tell me. Let's talk about donor cars. What cars have donated parts for your build? Some are single builds. You don't see that much anymore. Some are single donor type of thing. But give us a call. Tell us what you're building. Tell us whose cars have donated to your project.
Yeah, because there was a post on Complete Kit Car Facebook where they were discussing. It literally only went on. I think it was about a day ago. What was the best donor? What was the best? Was it VW or Ford Sierra? So it's quite an interesting read actually when you're looking back through what was the. Back in the day it was Ford Sierra. Mm-hmm. You can't get them anymore, which is why people are now moving on to MX-5s and so on. And it's like, all right, okay, once the MX-5s run out, what's going to be the next donor? I don't know. I guess it's not going to be a Tesla.
What prompted my call or my writing down this question is Steve Dunbar is building a McSorley build 442, and his is Alfa Romeo, one donor, with the exception of a Triumph Spitfire steering rack, but it's literally all. Yeah. So, and it made me think about mine. And mine, it's a kit, but I've got Ford T-Bird spindles, hubs. I've got a Toyota truck steering rack. My steering column is from a Honda Civic. The radiator is from a Honda Civic. Of course, it's got the Hayabusa engine. My reverse gear is from Quaife. It's a bit of a mix and match.
That was RMK is all Ford. What it was with the Ford 2-litre Pinto engine till that came out, and it's now Yamaha R1 bike engine. But yeah, it is predominantly all Ford, which I think Polo front radiator. Everything else is Ford.
Yeah, it's the times there have changed so much. And you mentioned the single single donor type of build. The only one I can think of these days that's like that you mentioned the MX-5. Is the MEVs. You just take the body off and you drop on a MEV exoskeleton and you're in business.
Yes. Yeah. All single donor. Yeah.
And that's pretty cool.
MK to some extent as well, and MK to some extent with the MK Indy, either classic or the RR, which could be a Mazda build. I see a lot of people end up turboing them as well. And they're mad enough with the standard engine, never mind with the turboing.
Absolutely.
You've got the likes of GBS as well, although a lot of their parts are now bespoke or made in house.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
And I think a lot of manufacturers are going that way. So you're right. You're right, Jim. The days of the single donor. I don't know.
Well, we have to face some facts. Most of the cars these days are front engine vehicles, right? Unless you're looking at building a mid-engine build. If you want a classic 7, you got to be a bit creative.
Yes.
Yeah. So bringing on that point, I was just going to ask, we've had the opportunity to interview Craig Harper and have a look at a little bit of a brief look at his, what do they call it? His Cobra, which I think they call he calls it the Mega Snake. It looks awesome. Yeah. But I've got a question. a question for all the seven or all the snakeheads who are in 7-spot. Who's in the shed building one now? Is anybody? Who's repairing one? Who's bought a failed kit and is or has done a restoration? Of course, we know of one, and it's a beautiful 7. That's Trevor Harmer's. So if you're working on a snake, give us a call. Let us know.
Yeah.
So I'm going to move on with another presentation. See where. And moving on from the. There we go.
Yeah,
Now,
brilliant.
Yeah.
55 minutes.
What can you say? Duncan Cowper. Sean at MK says he could make a skateboard go faster. And it's so true. What an amazing car. What an amazing driver. And what an amazing story, because we've been doing a little bit of chatting with Duncan, and he's going to be with us to host another show. And it's going to be one that's going to be a little bit different because he's got friends. It's good to have friends. And that's about all I'm going to tell you. Let's just listen in.
Well, greetings, world, and greetings, 7-spot. I'm here with my good two friends, Dave Lascelles and Duncan Cowper, because it is a soggy, wet day in Newark, and we are here to document the nice inside ambiance where it's not raining down. And I'm here, sitting here in brand new, I guess it's 7-spot studio with my darling sister-in-law's T-Bird behind me. Great little setup. And Dave is in Nashville, Tennessee, and I don't know where Duncan is, but I think he's probably somewhere in Essex. Is that about right?
Yeah, well, we're just on the border. We're Hertfordshire, which is just by Stansted Airport, which is where I am, Bishop Stortford.
Well, that is so cool. Welcome back to the UK, Duncan, because you just had a wonderful time at Pikes Peak.
Yeah. Yeah, we took my little car there. It was a 3-man team. 2 of us ran the car for the tyre test. We managed to qualify 22nd out of 70, and we ended up finishing. And also we finished 3rd in unlimited. And as a rookie, we managed to break the 10-minute barrier, which is quite a small club. I think it's around 5 or 6 people have only ever gone sub 10 as a rookie.
Wow, that's absolutely awesome. And quickly, I mean, pretty much everybody knows about your car, but can you tell us about your Turbo Dax Rush?
Yeah. I think 2008 I built it, I sprinted it, hill climbed, and also done things like time attack with the car over many years. Had quite good success with it, and then a bit of a harebrained idea of going out to Pikes with it. But basically, it's a Gen 1 booster with, me and Jeff Page and Jack from Whole Shop from years. It's all have developed something now that's turned into quite a good package. But we've run some big power. We've run up to sort of 500 horsepower at the wheels with the car over the years, but you struggle to keep everything together. So we detuned it for Pikes, changed the turbo. So we ran about 387 at the wheels, about 245 foot-pounds of torque.
387 horsepower at the wheels
very
of his 7.
which comes from the LMP cars, which is a full life racing F88 ECU, which is just an amazing piece of kit. I mean, mine's quite old now, but it still just can monitor and just make the engine do things it just can't do with other ECUs. So a speed sensor on there for the turbo, barometric pressure, but it actually monitors. You know, you've got 88 inputs on it, so we can keep everything in check.
Wow, what a car! I mean, and it's a Gen 1 booster, right?
Gen 1 booster. So it's geared for about, I think about 161. I think we hit 158 down the back straight.
158.
Around about 60 in first. Does 0 to 100 in 5.6 seconds on road tyres. It does 10.9 quarter of a mile on an unprepped concrete track. So
very nice.
You know, but I might lose you here, but we'll see. I don't know whether I can still hit. Yeah, still there. So yeah, I mean the car's been did many years. Just as fun, really. You know, I worked at that for many years from when I was sort of 16, 17. I worked down at that for Gary.
Well, we were about to lose Duncan, which is a shame.
Between us all, we developed the suspension on it to where it is now. Mine runs inboard shock, which is quite unique.
Yes.
Little, you know, it was development work when we were there, and unfortunately that, you know, sold the Rush project, so we didn't end up doing any more development. But what we had in plan for the new car would have been quite special, I think, if we'd have ever got there. Still on the drawing board somewhere.
Yeah. Well, what can I say? You've blessed us with your presence today. I really appreciate this.
No problem.
And I got to tell you, we're praying. We're all praying that maybe you'll come back and we can do a proper show and maybe a walk around of the car when it comes back. Is it still in transit? Where is it?
It's in Denver at the moment. We haven't decided how we're getting it back yet, but no, I've been more than happy, and I say we can do a bit more of an in-depth, you know, thing on all the bits we've done over the years.
Yeah, like we were chatting before we got on air here just about your general development of the car and the history of the stuff that you're doing. And you know what? It's a story that a lot of people don't know. And I think it would make terrific stuff. So, yeah, we're looking forward to doing it.
I like to say we do it for fun. We're not professionals. You know, I'm not an aerodynamicist. You know, some people said, oh, you can't put aero on the 7, it won't work. There's like the Brit. You know, there was a 7 ran Pikes in the 60s or early 70s with a V8 sort of Cobra engine in it. So we're not, I don't think, the first 7 to ever run, but we're definitely the fastest.
Yeah. Well, I will say this one thing, Duncan, is I think that your ear pods are about to pass out.
I think, but no, we'll do it again, and we'll
get a bit more into the.
Now you're back, and it sounds great.
Side of it.
Yeah, well, that sounds wonderful. So I'll let you get on with your day, and you have a great day. And we will talk to you later, and we will see you at 7 Spot.
Okay, I back. That was pretty cool.
I was going to say, what an amazing car!
What an amazing!
If you look at
what amazing story! His life
streams that we did with him.
Yeah, and there's more coming. I mean, he's such a wonderful guy.
Yeah,
he's
and well,
so human, right?
Yeah, but when you look at where they're running Pikes Peak, the air is rarefied. So running that turbo, he starts talking about the fact it was overspeeding. So they had to dampen it. He tells a great story where he's at the top of Pikes Peak, and all the Americans are looking at him because he's got his PC wired into a a mobile phone, and they said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Oh, we're just tuning it." He says, "You're tuning it here?" He says, "No, it's being tuned back in the UK." And the Americans were all looking at him thinking, "What? How are they doing that?" Just I can't remember what he said. His turbo was revving to. Was it 18,000? It was something. It was.
I think it was 18,000. Yeah,
but it was.
It was mental. I mean, the car is mental, you know, and it's. It's like Sean says, he could make a skateboard go fast. I mean, you know, sevens were not ever meant to go that fast.
And I know it's still in a container out in the States, and I think he is thinking of running it again in 2024 or bringing it back. I think that's a little bit undecided, obviously funds wise and things like that. But just an amazing car.
Yeah. Yeah, another 7-spot reader or watchers wrote it was the turbo overspeed in the rarefied air that fascinated me at the top of Pikes Peak. It was then being tuned with a phone back in the UK. Amazing.
I don't know. They had to put. I don't know how it works because I've never had a turbo, but there was some kind of dampener to stop the rotor speed over revving. And I think that's what they were concentrating on. But it did go well. Was it third in the class that he won? And it was it was
unlimited class.
Class as well. Amazing for a 7 to win that.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Well, he's a great driver, and it's an amazing car, and it's an amazing story, and it's an amazing life. That's what I'm interested in. I mean, I've always said that, you know, the best stories are the stories behind the stories, and that's. And dropping a tidbit for everybody. Yes, we're going to be doing a live stream with Duncan about a nice walk around of the 7. But you know what? There's another story that he's graciously going to share. So that's all I'm going to tell you. You have to wait.
We can't say too much about that. I mean, another classic quote that he came out with, because you've got that big left-hander with the sheer drop on the right-hand side. And I think he just said he kept it on the white line.
Yeah. It's always a good idea. Well, my friend, we've been on for 57 minutes, and it's been another wonderful adventure, completely impromptu, undesigned, and we got a call in. And I'm going to say thanks to everyone for tuning in. Have yourselves a very happy new year, and we will see you on the other side of 2023. Cheers, my friend.
We'll see you in 2024, and be seeing you.
All right. Cheers. Bye now.